Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater. And just the other day, Netflix released Bandersnatch, its first choose your own adventure style movie aimed for adults. There are a couple other properties on there that already use the technology, but this is the first one that was aimed for adults. And the response to it has been mixed at best. I personally enjoyed it after I spent about 3.5 hours with it trying to get all of the endings. Apparently, there are a couple things that have happened that I don't know. People have brought up certain things that I haven't seen myself, and I keep meaning to go back into it. But one of the things I thought about as I was watching it was, how the hell is this going to be pirated? Because pirates are going to sit there and going to be like, I don't want to pay for Netflix. I'm just going to pirate the damn thing. But then when you get something like this, how does it work? And that's actually been a question that's been brought up today a bit, but I like this article here by Mashable, saying the internet is arguing over the best way to pirate Netflix Bandersnatch. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool in my opinion. Like, I'm not arguing, I'm not suggesting you pirate it. I'm not advocating for piracy. But when it comes to pirates and it comes to them getting the stuff that they get, when they argue over a property like this, all it does is raise the awareness of people who may want to check it out. And all this is actually going to end up doing ultimately is selling more Netflix subscriptions if people really like it. Now, it says here, Netflix's new Choose Your Own Adventure style episode of Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, has the online world abuzz, with all the different storylines available for the viewer player. Overlooked in the discussion regarding which breakfast cereal kicks off the main character's day lies another probing question. How exactly does one pirate a show that is roughly 5 hours of runtime spooled over multiple non-linear scenes requiring specifically designed branch manager tool to access? Which is true. How would you do this? Now, it says here that while some in media and online have speculated that the format of Bandersnatch would make it difficult to pirate, difficult does not equal impossible, a fact we are reminded of by a quick stroll by the Pirate Bay and Reddit. They've been talking about it a lot. So it says, one of the files here, description of it says that out of the 250 available decision events, this is the default 68 choices Netflix has defined as their default linear timeline. And it lists a runtime of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 12 seconds, and seemingly just plays out as a straight film. In other words, this iteration solves the aforementioned problem of different storylines by simply ignoring it. Now, the thing with that, though, is I've seen this brought up, I've seen this discussion pop up too on different forums where they're talking about pirated movies, and they think, oh, this is the default ending. Is it? Because one of the reasons why it takes an hour and a half is because you get to one ending and then it loops you back to a different decision. And if all they did is just let it play out, then the system itself, the branch manager, is going to take you one way and it's going to end. It's going to loop you back around to keep looping you back around and looping you back around until it gets you to an eventual ending. But that ending is not necessarily the ending. That ending may not even be the one that is the definitive one. And people out there right now are arguing what the definitive ending of the game is, what the absolute utter definitive ending of Bandersnatch is. And it boils down to 2 of the 5 you could argue are in fact definitive endings to the story. One is a very bleak one and the other one's a very interesting one, but a lot of people think the bleak one, and if you know the one I'm talking about being bleak, you know what I'm talking about here, would argue that as being the ending simply because of the fact that it goes to end credits. And so that's going to be something that's going to be very interesting to see play out in regards to pirates trying to dissect the property. And one of the reasons why I actually kind of find this to be super fascinating. Again, I'm not advocating for piracy, but George Lucas once said, or no, it wasn't George Lucas, sorry, it was Bill Gates once said, he likes to hire lazy people because they always find the quickest way to do something. In this regard, the pirates are the lazy people and they're trying to find the quickest way to do something. So the discussion that surrounds it to me is fascinating. Now, another pirated copy here listing at 5 hours and 12 minutes suggests a different approach, with reports putting the total amount of all final Bandersnatch footage combined at just over 5 hours. It would seem that this content pirate just decided to go ahead and upload everything as a single uninterrupted movie. But how many times does he reset? How many times does it go back to a different branching path? We know that there are branching paths in this episode, that they take you in a different direction. And so if you don't know where you're going, if you don't quite know what's happening, where is this going to go? Now, I haven't downloaded the footage. I'm not recommending downloading the 5.5 hour cut, but man, I'm intrigued to know more about it. I'll tell you that, because I want to know is I've spent 3.5 hours with the game, right? I spent 3.5 hours with it. And I saw what I felt was everything. So what didn't I see? That's part of why I want to check this out, is like, is there going to be footage in there that I simply missed? It's tempting, but it almost feels like the Bandersnatch itself is pulling me back in. That's actually one of the greatest things about Bandersnatch as a whole, is the concept of it is something that keeps you engaged and keeps you talking. Hell, just today I caught friends of mine on Facebook talking about it, and they each got different endings and were ultimately discussing how to get back to the endings that they each other once saw. That's the beauty of this product. That's the beauty of Bandersnatch. Pirates, again, are always going to make things easier to find in certain aspects, but this has gotten them a little bit baffled and has me very, very, very intrigued. But I leave it to you. Do you think this is worth pirating, or do you think this is going to end up being so frustrating for some people that they're going to either edit their own fan film version together, edit what they believe is the complete cut of Bandersnatch, or do you think it's going to push more sales? Or I don't know, where do you sit on it? I'm curious to know your thoughts. My name is Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. Feel free to call on our voicemail line at 818-350-3281. That's 818-350-3281. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.